Hey everyone, Walter here. Thanks for checking out the channel. A while back, I hit 5,000 followers on Twitter and put up a poll asking how we should celebrate. You guys voted to see my personal top 5 favorite movies of all time. So that's what you're going to get today. I absolutely love every single movie on this list, and it'd be great to hear what you guys think of these films in the comments below. Now, this was very difficult to narrow down. There are a lot of films I love, but these stand above the rest. So, here they are, my top 5 favorite movies. Number 5, On the Waterfront. On the Waterfront won 8 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Actor for Marlon Brando's performance as Terry Malloy at the 1955 Oscars. It centers around a former boxer who gets involved in his neighborhood's war on the local mob, who controls all the jobs given out on the docks. Terry is in the middle of this fight as his older brother works for the bad guys, and he's friendly with some of the mobsters. A moral dilemma presents itself as Joey, a friend of Terry's, is killed. Later, he falls for Joey's sister, Edie. Terry must choose to stay deaf and dumb or stand up for what's right. I didn't see this movie until about 11 years ago. It's both the oldest film on this list and the one I've most recently seen for the first time. It was introduced to me in my first semester of film school, and I was struck by it the first time I watched it. Subsequent rewatchings have made me love it more and more. Brando is at his best in this film. His naturalistic delivery was new in the 50s, and he stands out from the rest of the cast, who are all great, but not quite caught up with Brando's ahead of his time approach. Carl Malden as Father Barry is fantastic as a priest who learns he has to be pretty harsh to help change his neighborhood for the better. Maybe the most badass priest in film history. Eva Marie Saint as Edie was also great and won an Oscar for her performance. She wasn't the usual female character of the time period and wouldn't take no for an answer when investigating her brother's death. I like her a lot. The movie is shot in beautiful black and white with a phenomenal score to accompany the images. It's a story about redemption, heartbreak, and ultimately doing the right thing. It's a timeless and classic movie that I would highly suggest giving a chance. On the Waterfront might even move up the list the more times I see it. It's that good, and way more than just a contender.
I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody.
Number 4, The Blues Brothers. God, I love The Blues Brothers. I first saw this when I was pretty young and didn't quite know what to make of it. I knew I liked it, but it wasn't until I was in high school that my love and understanding for this movie truly blossomed. My junior year, I got to play Elwood in a group interpretation of the movie. Group Interp, or GI, is a 30-minute competitive play with a very simplistic set and small cast. They tour around and compete against other schools for sectionals, state, etc. Bottom line is, it wasn't your run-of-the-mill play. I've never had as much fun acting in something as I did when I was in The Blues Brothers. I have a very strong emotional connection to this movie. In addition to playing one of the characters, I also grew up in Calumet City, the same hometown of Jake and Elwood themselves. A lot of the filming locations are places I've seen or been close to. For my money, it's the best Chicago movie ever made. The music, the dance numbers, the cameos, the car chases, the characters, the story, it's all freaking brilliant. It's a real snapshot of Chicago and the South Suburbs in 1980, and I love every single minute of it. Jake and Elwood forever.
We're on a mission from God.
Number 3, The Sandlot. There is no better baseball movie or authentic experience like The Sandlot. That movie is so accurate to how kids talk to each other and play baseball, it's scary. This is another one I heavily relate to. I grew up across the street from a parking lot. Me, my brothers, cousins, and neighborhood friends would play baseball in that parking lot nearly every day for years and years and years. Much like they say in the movie, baseball was more than just a game. Baseball was life. Everything from the kid characters to neighborhood summer days, the mean old man across the street to getting in trouble all over town, I can't put into words how much I love this film because I lived it. I lived The Sandlot. It takes place in the 1960s, and I grew up in the 90s and early 2000s, but that just goes to show that it transcends any time period. The focus on Babe Ruth and baseball history in general was very true to how kids view the legends of the game. They're untouchable, almost on another plane of existence, and we spoke of them like they were truly legendary. It's funny, heartfelt, and captured what it's like to be a kid growing up and playing this game. It was lightning in a bottle that no film has come close to when covering a similar subject matter. Although that hasn't stopped them from trying.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Number 2, the Back to the Future trilogy. These were my first favorite movies. I was very young when my dad introduced me to them, and I've loved them from the very beginning. Doc and Marty's travels through time present a near-perfect trilogy to me. Everything works on a level that's rarely reached in movies, period. The comedy, characters, and sincerity shown in these three films are timeless. Funny how a trilogy about time travel is timeless itself. The style of the DeLorean, the quirkiness of the character relationships, the incredible score by Alan Silvestri, all that and much, much more add up to something much greater than the sum of their parts. Back to the Future is structurally pretty close to perfection. They're great individually or back to back to back. It's my favorite trilogy ever, and no three films have ever come close to it. It's the epitome of fun, concept-driven, character-driven, and all-around amazing storytelling. Doc, Marty, and the Old Time Machine will always hold a special place in my heart.
1.21 gigawatts! Great Scott!
And my favorite movie of all time is the Rocky series. That's right, all 7 of them. Creed can join in too. I know, these are my top 5 favorite movies, not movie series, but I honestly would pick any Rocky movie over any other movie ever. Call it a sickness, call it insanity, call it whatever you want, but I 100% believe in that. Maybe one day I'll do a Rocky movie ranking video, but I wanted some variety in this list. I love these movies so much. They're a huge part of me. I can honestly say I would be a different person without growing up with these films. They're that big of a part of how I live my life and view things. I can't remember what I did this morning, but I can remember the first time I saw a Rocky movie. I was 8 years old at my cousin Frederick's house on a beautiful summer day. The sun was shining and we were taking a break from playing to relax and watch a movie. My older cousin asked all the kids what we wanted to watch, Rocky 3 or Rocky 4. I thought she was talking about Rocky the Flying Squirrel of Rocky and Bullwinkle. I had no idea what I was in for. I chose Rocky 3, and from the very first moment I saw that title belt with the words Rocky 3 pass by the screen, I knew I had found my movie soulmate. As the years went on, I grew with the 5 movies that were then available, and started to notice things I never did when I was younger. I appreciated new aspects of the films every time I saw them. There was a point in high school where I was watching at least a full Rocky movie or clip every day. I nearly drove my dad nuts playing the training montage in 2 so many times in a row. To this day, I've never gotten sick of it. I could still watch a Rocky movie every day and never get bored. The fact that they've expanded the films into this generation with the Creed movies is just another testament to how much this franchise connects with all people. I got to travel to Philadelphia a couple years ago, and it was a dream come true to visit the filming locations. Running up those steps is something I will never, ever forget. The Rocky movies mean so much to me, and I hope I can one day create something that connects with people a fraction of how these films connect with me. They've had such a big impact on who I am and how I live my life that I can't imagine living without them. It's not about how hard you hit.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take.
And keep moving forward. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys right back here on the channel with a brand new video real soon.